Getting ready to start grad school or thinking about going, I'm going to share with you 5 things that you need to know so you can be successful, and you're going to find out what those are right now. Hey everybody, I'm Leigh from teachingacademia.com, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to navigate academia and make your best impact. In this video, we're talking about 5 things that you need to know before you start grad school so you can be successful. These are in no particular order, but I think you're going to find them really helpful, so let's get right to it. So number 1, make sure you know who your temporary advisor is and connect with that person before you ever get to campus. So normally you are assigned an advisor, right, when you start a graduate program, but that advisor does not necessarily have to be the person that's your advisor for the entire program. We expect that in some cases these are going to be really good matches and that's the way it's going to play out. But in other cases, the match might not be that great, or it might be fine, but you find somebody better to work with. So that's why this is a temporary advisor. It's somebody who can help you get up and running that first semester while you get your feet on the ground. So they'll help you figure out what classes to take, can answer questions about assistantships, or they can point you in the right direction of who to connect with so that you can get your questions answered while you are getting settled in. So make sure you know who that person is. Make sure, because they don't always reach out to you, so make sure that you have reached out to them so that you can have a conversation even before you get on campus, but certainly once you are there. All right, number 2, talk to your advisor about what classes you should register for, okay? So in any semester you should do this, but especially when you're starting grad school. You might see a number of classes that look really exciting, really interesting, etc. That doesn't mean that you're ever going to take those classes, that they're the right classes for you, or that you should be taking them your first semester. So touch base with your advisor before you start and make sure you are clear, unless your program explicitly tells you what to register for. Make sure you are clear on what you should be signing up for in that initial semester. All right, number 3, make sure you know what is expected of your assistantship, or at least understand when you can expect those expectations to be communicated to you. So if you're going to be teaching in some capacity, right, you might be teaching your own class, you might be serving as a teaching assistant, you might be collecting data on a research project. Whatever it is that your assistantship is, there is somebody that oversees it, okay? Now, your advisor may know a little bit about that to get you up and running, might be able to provide you with some general expectations, but you should talk to the person that oversees it. Make sure that you are clear on how much time you're going to be putting into this. Make sure you know what kind of the gist of when you're expected to show up to do things, as much as that can be known. Sometimes with things like research assistantships and going out into the field, it's a little flexible and it's not always, nailed down like teaching a class is, where you show up on Monday at 9 o'clock or 2 o'clock or whatever to teach your class. So make sure that you know what those expectations are, or if there's going to be some kind of orientation where they sit you down, at least be aware of knowing that, hey, it's coming down the pike. I know when I'm going to get my questions answered. All right, number 4, connect with other grad students. Just also for a couple things, for friendship, obviously, because you don't want to be alone in this, and also to learn more about what to expect. So sometimes I know when we have potential grad students, people that are interested in our program that reach out to us, we will offer to connect them to current grad students, or even grad students that maybe just graduated from our program. But not necessarily, everybody doesn't necessarily offer that up to you. So don't be afraid to reach out to whoever your connection is at that university in that program and ask if you can speak to some grad students before you even get to campus so that you can get their perspective on things. I have found that grad students are more than willing to do that for you. They're happy to do that for you. They want to do that for you. But then also, once you get there, start making those connections. And then finally, number 5 is relax. Don't try to do a bunch of reading. Try not to stress, okay? So obviously when you get to grad school, you are going to be doing a bunch of reading and it is going to be stressful, all right? But before you get there, right when you're getting ready to start, sometimes, especially in those 1, 2, 3 months before somebody starts a program, I'll get an email about like, hey, what are all the things that I should read? And you don't really necessarily need to be killing yourself with a bunch of reading before you get to grad school. So before you start grad school, before that semester kicks off, try to just relax a little bit, enjoy that time, read for enjoyment, read for pleasure, read things that you want to read, because pretty soon you're going to have a lot of assigned readings. You're going to have a lot of that to do very quickly. It's not always going to be fun stuff that you personally enjoy reading. So don't worry too much. We want to get a little bit lay of the land here so that you know what to expect. But before you jump in, before this program kicks off, make sure you kind of kick back and take a little bit of time for yourself. So if you like this video and you want more, click right here and I'll see you in the next one.